Welcome to the episode 28 summary of the Reading Finnegans Wake in 200 Sessions podcast, where we analyze Finnegans Wake by James Joyce 3 pages at a time. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and leave a comment to support us. All right, so today we're diving headfirst into one of the most notoriously difficult books ever written, Finnegans Wake, to uncover the wild and really cryptic courtroom drama of a character named Festy King.
So this is the very first thing that comes out of our star witness's mouth. Festy King opens with this, and right away you know we're in for a ride. What does it even mean? Well, it's a classic James Joyce special, a mashup of the Irish word for prostitute and the French word for, well, shit. Not exactly so help me God, is it?
Okay, I know what you're thinking. This just seems like complete and utter nonsense. But in the world of Finnegans Wake, nothing is just nonsense. It's a puzzle. Every single word is a clue, a little breadcrumb leading us deeper into the story. And today, we're going to solve this thing together.
So, Section 1, a most unlikely defendant. Our guy Festy King literally shows up to court covered in an outer layer of stucco muck. They have to clean him off before he can even speak. This immediately sets the stage for a pretty bizarre testimony. We're dealing with someone who is, you could say, digging himself out of the mud from the get-go.
So when he's accused of theft, Festy comes up with this absolute gem of a defense. He says, look, sure, these Thurkles followed him home, but that's not stealing. It's a ridiculous argument, of course, but the real magic is hidden in that one very strange word. The word Thurkles just explodes with meaning. It's not just one thing. It's a callback to an old vaudeville joke about stolen chickens, but it also points to Turgesius, a notoriously violent Viking invader of Ireland. It even sounds like the Old Irish for forest swine, and yeah, of course, turkeys. This is Joyce's whole method in a nutshell, packing history, comedy, and myth all into a single, dense pun.
All right, Section 2, the art of denial. Festy's testimony is, and I mean this, a masterclass in confessing to every single thing he's accused of, all while claiming he's totally innocent. It's incredible.
Get this, he swears on his life that he has never, ever thrown a stone. This is a classic case of protesting way too much, especially when you learn that one of his nicknames is Pegger Festy, which almost certainly comes from, you guessed it, pegging stones at people.
And this is where you see just how deep the rabbit hole goes. Joyce calls Festy's testimony a sockdologer. Now, on one level, that's just old American slang for a knockout punch. But it was also the exact cue word John Wilkes Booth was waiting for during a play before he shot Abraham Lincoln. He knew the audience's laughter would drown out the gunshot. So Joyce is planting this clue that this rambling, silly confession, it has a violent, history-altering punchline hidden inside it.
So what is going on here? Right? Why does Joyce build this confusing, multi-layered world of puns and half-confessions and historical echoes? What's the engine that's actually driving this scene? That brings us to Section 3, a law of opposites. Because it turns out Festy isn't the only character that matters here. This whole scene is really a kind of cosmic drama between him and his complete opposite, a sad character called the Wet Pinter.
Now, to really understand their relationship, we have to get this philosophical idea from Giordano Bruno. He argued that everything in nature creates its own opposite. These opposites are fundamentally connected, like two sides of the same coin, always pushing and pulling towards each other. This idea, it's the secret engine of Finnegans Wake.
And here is the core conflict in living color. You've got Festy King on one side. He's the loud, popular buffoon, the hilarious hoot. He's an archetype Joyce calls Shun the Post. And his opposite, the Wet Painter. He's the quiet, shunned artist, the word painter, who represents Joyce's other key archetype, Shem the penman. One is the man of action, the other is the man of words. Which brings us to Section 4, the Wake's weird justice. With these two opposites established, the judges have to lay their wigs together and finally decide Festy's fate.
And the verdict comes down in yet another cryptic phrase, Nolans Brumans. Just like everything else we've seen, it's a pun. And this one is a direct play on the name of the very philosopher whose ideas are shaping this whole scene, Giordano Bruno of Nola. So here is the crucial point. The real Giordano Bruno was found guilty by the Inquisition and burned at the stake for his wild ideas. But Joyce flips his fate completely on its head. The court's verdict for Festy King, Nolans Brumans, basically means not guilty.
And just like that, Festy King, a man who has, in Joyce's perfect words, murdered all the English he knew,
He just picks his pockets and walks out of the courtroom, completely scot-free.
But the story doesn't end there. As Festy is leaving, the crowd's anger suddenly turns, but it's not aimed at the criminal. No. Instead, they turn on the artist figure, the quiet Wet Pinter, and they chase him out of town, shouting, "Shun the pun man!"
This is the weird, tragicomic justice of Finnegans' wake. It is completely inverted. The popular buffoon who breaks the rules is celebrated, while the artist who reveals the truth, the pun man, he's the one who gets punished and cast out.
And this leaves us with a final, pretty provocative thought. Was this trial ever really about Festy King's guilt at all? Or was it about the world's deep-seated intolerance for the person who stands on the sidelines, observing, and then dares to find the words to describe the beautiful, chaotic mess of it all?